Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of Olde Carr Guy. Today, we're gonna do an oil change, and we're gonna do it in just a few simple steps. Why? Well, because I don't feel like paying Bob down at the lube shop $100 to change my oil for me. So, we're gonna do it ourselves, and you guys are gonna learn along the way. So step one, get everything you need ready before you start doing this. So a couple of things that you're gonna need is, well, to be able to get the front end of your vehicle up in the air so that you can get under there, scooch in and take out the drain plug and change the filter. So you're also gonna need a wrench for the drain plug and a new filter. Don't forget, we're gonna need some oil and a funnel. And guys, don't use your mom's oil out of the kitchen. It's not gonna work very well. You're gonna need something to catch the old oil. And if you've never done this before, a little bit of courage. So let's take a look under the hood, see what we've got to do first. Step number 2, make sure the car is off. I shouldn't have to say this, but you would be surprised at how many people try and change the oil in their car while it's moving. And remember to let the engine cool down, unless you like second-degree burns, a trip to the ER, and questioning your life choices. Remove the fill cap, because that lets air in behind the oil so that it drains a little bit quicker. Let's get this thing up in the air. While editing this, I realized I forgot step 3, drain the oil. So once you find the right socket, after 3 or 4 trips back to the toolbox, we are going to loosen up our drain plug and let the oil drain into the pan in hopes that we don't scald our fingers because we didn't let it cool down long enough. Try not to make a mess, like I just did. Dang it. Step number 4, change the filter. So if you're lucky enough that Thor himself did not tighten on the oil filter the last time he was under here, you should be able to spin that off by hand. And sometimes, if you have a clean, dry rag, it'll help you get some grip on that because your fingers are probably oily at this point from that. So once you get that loose, give her a spin, let the oil drain out of it because it's going to make a mess too. So once the oil has stopped draining out of the pan till it's just a slight little trickle, you can go ahead and pop that back in. Make sure you check the gasket. Sometimes they crack and they don't seal up properly. You get a drip. Sometimes they fall off and you get a drip. Sometimes you tighten them too tight and you get a drip. These things do not have to be 400 foot-pounds. Like, I don't know what the torque spec is on it. I'm sure it's less than 30. Guys, when it comes to the new oil filter, if you have the opportunity, pre-fill it. It's a big argument between some people saying you don't have to do it, but why not? You might as well. You're right there. It's going straight up. You're not going to be dumping any of it out. Make sure the old gasket's not left up there on the oil filter housing. Anyone who tells you you don't need to pre-fill an oil filter should be flogged. I don't see what the big deal is. Just fill it. It's so simple. And once again, when you go to put the oil filter back on, do it hand tight. Again, it doesn't need to be 400 foot-pounds. Think of it this way. If you were going to get your wife or your daughter to try and take that off there, would you want it on there so that you can spin it off by hand? Or do you want them to have to take a jackhammer to it? So now that we got our filter on, I want to show you a couple things. If you are cheap like me and drive old junk, your vehicle probably has greasable suspension components like the ball joints, steering components like the tie rod, idler arm, pitman arm up here. You can't see it, it's in the dark. If you've got those, go ahead and grease them. This is the time to do it. You're underneath the car, grab the grease gun, give them things a few pumps with the old squirt gun. Step number 5, add new oil. So with your fresh oil and your funnel, We're going to try and do this without making a mess. And we're going to pour in the new oil. And if you don't know how much oil to put in, it's 2025, folks. Google will tell you generally exactly how much oil you need in your car. I just happen to know that this thing holds approximately 5 liters. So that's what we're going to put in. And if you don't know what a liter is, stop doing your oil change right now and call for help. So we dumped in our 5 liters, and now we're going to pull the dipstick. Step number 6, check your dipstick. No, not that dipstick. The oil dipstick. And when you pull the dipstick, you're going to see some hash marks. Right to the arrow that's pointing at the top of the hash mark, that's full. If it's anywhere in between, it's safe. And if it's anywhere past the bottom, it says add. So we're going to look for it to be right up here, because this little girl smokes a little bit. It burns through some oil between oil changes. So we're going to be right at the top of that mark. Let's check it right where it is. It's still showing it's quite a bit over, but that's because we haven't started this thing to get all the drained out oil up through the system. I'm confident there's enough in there to start it, so let's start it up, let it run for about 30 seconds or so. Pull the dipstick again, clean it off so we'll have a clean slate to check. And when we pull that out, we are just a smidge over the full mark. Once again, I'm okay with that. Like I said, she's a drinker and a smoker. And when checking your dipstick, you want it to be in the hash marks. If it's not enough, add more oil. If it's too high, I don't know, call someone. I'm not your therapist. Make sure you put your fill cap back on. Make sure your dipstick is fully seated. Check your air cleaner, just because you're here. Check your coolant, just because, I mean, you're here. Make sure it's been sitting for a while. You don't want any pressure on that. That'll scald you. Worse than the oil. Check your brake fluid, you're here. And if you're inclined to check your transmission fluid, check it the same way that you would check your engine oil, only with this one. You want the engine to be running. You know what? Never mind. That may be too far ahead for some of you. We'll cover that in a different video. And step number 7 is cleanup. Now that you're all cleaned up, congratulations. You didn't cause any major damage, except to the floor, and maybe your pants and your Crocs. Don't forget to dispose of the old oil properly. No, you can't bury it in the backyard. No, you can't put it in your fuel tank. And no, you can't cook your French fries in it. Make sure you check your local shops for places that actually recycle used motor oil. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so if you want to see more antics on simple ways you can maintain your car right here on Olde Carr Guy. Thanks for watching. Stay focused on the windshield, not the rear view mirror. I love you. God bless. We'll see you in the next one. I can't believe they fell for that. They're watching me change oil. Go figure. Oh shit. This thing's still, oh crap.